Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. Tonight is Tuesday, April 12th, and we have Alecia that's going to be speaking on overcoming your fears, but I'm just going to kind of go over, I always forget where the play is. There we go. Just go over the housekeeping items for tonight. So I'll say this for every week up until August 6th. We have next Super Saturday is August 6th. So if you don't know what Super Saturday is, that is our big quarterly event. Everything is located in your area or hopefully close to you. You can search in your Coach Online office. You probably can't find anything now, but when we get closer to like July, you'll be able to see what locations are starting to pop up near you. This month for the Success Club prize, if you get Success Club 5 or higher, you get this funky cool apron, and who wouldn't love to post that on Facebook? We are having New Coach Basics, and what I mean by new is like totally brand spanking new. All the leaders in Team Arise got together, and we all did videos, and that's what's going to be coming out this Monday, April 18th. So even if you have an older coach that maybe isn't Emerald yet, maybe this will kind of get them back into the groove of things, just maybe hearing some different things that they haven't heard before. And of course, for any new coaches that have recently joined us, you can join that Coach Basics. Just let your upline know and we'll sign you up for that. This coming Sunday, for those of you that are going to Summit, I posted this in our Summit page. I'll be doing a Zoom on this Sunday night at 8 o'clock. This is only for people going to Summit. This will explain how we're going to register on April 18th. We'll go over just, what you need to bring, those types of things, because I know people are asking, like, what workout to do? What do I bring with me? What do I bring on the plane? All that kind of stuff. So that will be this Sunday, April 17th, and we register for our tracks on April 18th, so be aware of that. And then June 18th, we have Motorola in New Jersey. If you want more information on that, I'm already signed up, so that will be a lot of fun. And then the specials for this month, we have Masters Hammer and Chisel Performance Line Challenge Pack 160, Masters Hammer and Chisel with Shakeology Challenge Pack 160, Club Challenge Pack with Shakeology 140, and they're throwing in the portion fix. So they're getting the containers and they're getting a booklet to explain how to do the portion of it. Same thing with the Club Kickstart. So you're getting Beachbody On Demand, the 3-day refresh, and 30 days of Shakeology for 180, and you're getting the portion fix with the containers and booklet as well. And then the club with the Performance Challenge Pack, 140, and that also includes the portion fix. And then April 18th, so next week, coming up really soon, is when the Ultimate Reset's going to go on sale. The Challenge Pack is going to be $275, and I believe the regular programs without Shakeology of the Ultimate Reset are going to be on sale. So if that's a program that you've never done before and you've kind of been interested, Jessica Bryson is going to run the challenge group starting probably the following week. So if you want to do that with her, and she's not going to be doing it because she's pregnant, but she has a lot of customers that are going to be doing it, and she's going to run the group. So it might be a great time for you guys to jump on in with that and kind of see what it's all about. Because unless you've really done the program, it's going to be hard to explain it to other people, and you get really awesome results. So if you're looking for a good Transformation Tuesday photo to pick, you'll definitely have one with that one. And I just wanted to recognize all of the leadership ladder people for March. So I believe it was March 5th, or on the 5th of every month, on the 5th of every month is when the leadership ladder gets it shows us what last month showed. Sorry, I'm like tongue-tied this evening. So these are everyone from March that got on the leadership ladder. I definitely see a lot of new faces, some of the same faces, definitely we have way more team builders this month, and we have one new team leader, Jessica Bryson, that went up to that that, what do you call it? Not rank, but up to that ladder thing. I can't talk tonight. I'm sorry. So congratulations to all of you that have, these, getting on the leadership ladder is really, hitting Success Club, yes, that's great. And that's part of the leadership ladder, but hitting all those other steps, that's what I was looking for. Just gonna hit that next step. Those are all of the steps that you're going to need to be successful in this business. So if you haven't watched that leadership training that we did, or the team call that we did, that's in our file section on our team page. If you're like, Rose, what are you talking about with this leadership ladder? We did a team call on that maybe 3 weeks ago with Abby. Definitely check that out. All right, I'm done rambling for tonight. Alecia, take it away.
Thanks, Rose. Okay, I was just trying to see if I'm unmuted or muted.
You're good.
Okay, so tonight's call is going to be about overcoming fears and obstacles to be the best you. If you don't know me, I am Alecia Zenker. I'm from North Dakota, all the way up north, and we live kind of in the south central part of the state. So if you put your finger on the map of North Dakota and point to the central part, that's probably where we live. And I live on a farm with my husband, and we grow soybeans and corn, and we also have about 400 head of cows with my father-in-law. And we kind of live out in the middle of nowhere. I drive 40 miles one way to work every day. I work at a lumber yard as a drafter and designer. And I just started there in January. I love it. It's my dream job, basically, and it's what I went to school for. But it's definitely not something that I want to be doing for the rest of my life. So that's why I would like to coach more full-time and at least be working at my job part-time. So that is kind of my future goal. And for those of you who don't know, I have rheumatoid arthritis. I was diagnosed at age 23, and then about 6 months later, I was diagnosed with psoriasis. Very humbling news to find out when you're only 23 years old and been married for about a year and a half. So tonight I wanted to go over about fears. So first of all, I want you to take out a piece of paper and write down, like on your notes, whatever you're taking for this call, and then write down what your biggest fears are. Be honest with yourself and just write down just maybe 5 of your biggest fears, if they're spiders or whatever. We'll figure that out tonight. I just killed a spider tonight, actually. It was right by my shower. Not a very fun sight to see before you shower. So I'll just give you a few minutes. Just think about some of your fears. Can be business related, doesn't have to be. So now I want you to think about why you are scared of these things. Digest each one piece by piece, and who or what set these fears into place. Because most likely it was something that was brought upon you when you were younger, or it's something that as you grew up and, as you're in your 20s or 30s or whatever, it's something that's always kind of stuck with you. Maybe it's the fear of, never having enough. Maybe you grew up, in a very poor family that had a limited income, and maybe you're scared of that there's never going to be enough financially. Maybe you're scared of spiders. I don't know. But just digest each one and think about why you are really scared of, what you're scared of. So some of my biggest fears when I was doing this, when I wrote this call, some of my biggest fears were the fear of being rejected, the fear of what people think of me. I can't talk either tonight, evidently. The fear of communication or public speaking, and the fear of saying something dumb. When I first started coaching, I was not actively listening to personal development. I know that's a big thing that we always talk about, like personal development, and how we benefit from it. And I think as a new coach, it's kind of really overlooked just because there's so many other things that you want to look at and do when you first become a coach. Everything is so new and exciting, and let's face it, personal development isn't really that exciting. Earning success club points is way more exciting, or seeing your first paycheck is a lot more exciting than reading a book or listening to a podcast. And I thought I was listening to enough personal development, but I wasn't. I also thought that just posting about my upcoming challenge group was enough. I never reached out to people, and I never invited people. And by the end of the summer, my business was dead. So I started last year about in March. And when I first started, I think I hit Success Club 4 my first month. And then I hit Success Club 10 for the next couple of months. And then I got to Diamond really fast. And then basically I bottomed out because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. And I had a couple really good leaders on my team. They quit. And just today I found out another one might be quitting as well. So it's kind of just kind of semi or bittersweet, because you have to be putting in the work and you have to be doing the work that is required. And personal development is huge. And it's one of those big factors that can really come into play when a lot of those really big disappointments happen. Looking back, it was fear that was holding me back. Growing up, I was always on the quiet and timid and shy side. And I still am, but it gets easier. I'm not sure when or how, but it does. In order for this business to work, or even for you to be successful at life itself, you have to overcome your fears, no matter how big or small. A fear is just simply an excuse that keeps you from doing something great. I know posting and putting yourself out there and inviting is super hard, because I struggled with it myself, and I've had a lot of my coaches struggle with it as well. And I feel like because I struggled with it at first, I attracted those kind of people that struggled with posting. And so I'm still struggling in my business. I dropped down to Emerald. I'm still an Emerald coach, but I'm actively growing my business. I just haven't found the leaders yet that I need. So I'm keeping going by searching for those people that want to work the business with me. And so I feel like the first few months that I was a coach, I attracted all the wrong people. I attracted people that weren't me. I attracted people that quit. I attracted people that didn't, just wanted to do the discount basically, or get their Shakeology paid for. So just be aware of that, especially the new coaches. Be aware of who you're attracting, because it is so true that, who you are and what you're doing is who you're going to attract. And I still struggle, but honestly, who cares? As long as you are being genuine. Let me be the first to tell you that when you are being honestly genuine, people can tell, and that will be portrayed in your posts and your conversations. So one thing that got me started to where I am today is about last November, I started having one-on-one calls every month with Lisa Hansen. If you don't do any calls with Lisa, you definitely should at least once in your life or once a year. But she told me to read Go for No. And it was an awesome book. And that is kind of what kickstarted my business back up again. Because by the end of the summer, I was thinking about quitting. And I was about an inch away from sending in my form. And I thought to myself, I was like, I either need to figure this out or I need to quit. Because with the 1 week that it was like in the fall, and I just came from like a huge week, and then I was making like $14, and then it was like $28, and then it was $0. And so I was like, okay, I need to figure this out. And so basically, I read this book, and that's what really kickstarted my business, because I realized what I was doing wrong. I realized that I wasn't inviting and I wasn't reaching out to people to join my challenge groups. And that is a key thing. You can't just post pictures and say, you know, comment or like, you know, to be in my next challenge group. You got to be inviting. And for the past several months, I've been hitting Success Club every month. And it's been before even I started posting about challenge groups, because I've been inviting people. And those people that are signing up are the people that I've been reaching out to, not from just posting. So now I want to talk about some of the steps of how I overcome my fears. So number one is just to do it. Don't overthink it. I know a lot of times in life, and I am a big overthinker. I'm probably the biggest one on this call tonight. Honestly, I'm just going to say that because I overthink everything. I overthink even at my new job. I feel like I'm sometimes kind of struggle with different things because we have to learn a lot, like with helping customers and answering the phone and checking people out when they get like hardware stuff. And I feel like that's why I have been struggling a lot, because I overthink everything and I just want to like make it way more complex and harder than it is. And let's face it, as women, like that's, you know, that's just a woman thing. But put yourself out there and do whatever you are afraid of, because it's the only way to conquer that fear. Don't wait for the right time. Don't wait for the right person. Don't wait, because it's not worth waiting for. If I would have quit my business because I would have said, well, I'm waiting for the right leader. I'm waiting for that right person who wants to grab the reins with me and lead with me, but I haven't found that yet. And so if I would have waited for that, I would have been gone a long time ago. So don't wait for the right time, because there will never be a right time. There's always an excuse for people. And I feel like one of the biggest excuses is I'm so busy. And this is kind of overshadowing my like excuses, but I feel like I'm too busy is just a horrible excuse, and it's honestly one of my biggest pet peeves. Number two would be read the book Go for No. If you haven't read it yet, it's an awesome book. I totally recommend it. And like I said, it was suggested to me to be read by Alecia Zenker, and it helped me come out of my non-inviting shell. And one thing that I never thought is that I would be afraid of reaching out to people and having conversations with people, but I was, and it wasn't fun because it held me back a lot, and it held me from a lot of things. And I feel like even that's why I am not diamond anymore, and that's why I've had such a hard time getting back up. And people are always going to tell you no. It's going to hurt. It stings, especially if you've invested a lot of time into them. And it happens. People will let you down. And actually, just today I got some news that one of my coaches is probably looking at quitting. And I've spent a lot of time on her and invested a lot of time in her. And so it kind of is kind of icky. But people are going to let you down. So you need to treat even your top leaders like they're not going to be there forever. So you need to keep searching and keep looking for that next big thing. I know that sounds kind of an ugly way to put it, but it's the truth, because in this business, you never know. You can't count on anyone. You can only count on you. So with that being said, you need to be reading your personal development. You need to be doing the vital behaviors, with especially reading personal development. Like I said, my top coach quit on me this fall. Family sometimes can happen. Just over the past few months, I've had a lot of family issues that came up, and actually I wasn't speaking to my mom, and it's been really stressful, but we're speaking again, and it's been really hard because I'm an only child, and so my mom just didn't know what she was doing, I guess I should say, because she's really controlling and just wants to be in every aspect of my life. And she basically has done a lot of things in the past that have really hurt me, but I never said anything. And we basically had this big blow up fight, and I didn't talk to her for about 4 months. And so we're finally starting to talk again, and just kind of taking things slow. So definitely family can happen. People can let you down, including family and your friends and your leaders and your team. But it's up to you to keep going. No's only mean that you are failing now in order to succeed later. Go for those no's. Yes, make it a game to get as many no's as you can. And actually, I did this 1 month. I did it in December. And it worked. I still ended up hitting Success Club, but I reached out to, I think I was reaching out to about 5 or 10 people a day the whole month of December. And I hit Success Club 12, I believe. So that tells you about how many people that told me no. Number 3 would be create a habit. So my biggest fear was reaching out and actually inviting, but now I make it a goal to reach out to 3 to 5 people a day. And that's a lot of people that I'm adding to my network daily, weekly, and monthly. And then compound yearly. So I didn't even calculate how much that is, but is there anybody that's really awesome at math? You could figure that out. So make a habit of what your fear is by setting goals and kicking fear literally in the booty. And like I said, just creating that habit and figuring out like what your fears are and, you know, making that a daily habit. I always told my coaches that, you know, if reaching out is something that you're really scared of, then like figure out on Monday who you're going to reach out to. And then, sorry, my phone is ringing right now and I can't get it, but it's okay. So basically figure out who you're going to reach out to, and then like on a Monday, reach out to those people. And if it's something that you really hate, like get it over with in the first part of the week, even if you have to reach out to a lot of people, get it over with. And that way it's done with and you don't have to think about it. And suggested personal development books. So Go for No would be a great personal development book. Okay, sorry, I gotta like. Okay, I think it was just like a random person anyway. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so that's the bad thing about working in your home office. Suggested personal development books would be Go for No, Overcoming Worry and Anxiety and Fear is another good one. And then I wanted to end with a few quotes. Just hang on a second here. I found some today. This one was by Dr. Henry Link. We generate fears while we sit. We overcome them by action. Fear is nature's way of getting us to get busy. And I really like that one because it kind of like wraps up everything that I said. Like fear, you know, is one way to just help us move into action. You have to want it more than you're afraid of it. And I really like this one. Oprah actually said this. Whatever you fear most has no power. It is your fear that has the power. And okay, so this is a really cool one. They did, you know, like fear, F-E-A-R, and then they said it has 2 meanings. Forget everything and run, so F-E-A-R, or face everything and rise. So I thought that was a really cool one too. And then it said the choice is yours at the bottom. So I think that's all I wanted to talk about tonight. Does anybody have any questions? Sorry about my phone ringing, and did I talk too fast or anything crazy?
No, I think you did fantastic. One of the things that hit home for me or what they were talking about on the cruise, they had like the top 10 panel, and I forget which top coach. I think I might have posted it in the team page, but she was asked like the question, what's the biggest mistake that new coaches do? And she said, thinking. She said, when coaches overthink, they don't do any action. So overthinking leads to inaction, whereas if you just did it, you'd have action. Even if you made a mistake, you'd learn, okay, don't do that again. Let's try something else. So yeah, definitely don't overthink things. Fear is completely normal. And I think if you don't have any fears, then you're just lying to yourself. And you need those fears to push you forward, to have the change that you want to have. Because without fear, I mean, you're just going to be standing still, and that's not fun. So, did anyone have any questions, comments?
I wanted to add something.
Sure.
So it was funny that you guys, Alecia, that you talked about like just doing it, like getting over your fears and taking action. Because today I was doing my monthly reflection in my passion planner, and it was like, write down one of your biggest reflections from the past month. And I was trying to think, what I did and stuff. And I literally wrote down the best thing to do is just do it. And like, that's exactly what you said. And I was just thinking when I was like taking my notes, people always say action speaks louder than words. And, it's usually like in relationships or friendships or something, you got to spend time with that person rather than just saying you're going to spend time with them. And that's the same thing in our business. Like, we can't just say we're going to go invite 5 people and not actually do it, or we're going to apply this concept. We got to actually do it in order for it to, play out and stuff. So it was cool that you guys talked about that tonight. Good job.
Thank you. Another thing I was going to add too is, I know I mentioned it earlier in the call, but I always used to be so scared of like public speaking too. And like now look at me, like I've done a call pretty much almost every month because I love it. Like seriously, I wrote like I don't know how many calls last month. I think I wrote like almost 10 calls last month. Like I was just on a streak. Like I love to write. And so now I'm like translating it all and like, making it into calls and like, making it a little bit more presentable. So hopefully you guys understood everything. It wasn't too crazy.
Okay, I have a question too. First of all, I can't believe that you were thinking about quitting. That is crazy. To me, seeing all your posts and everything, you're like a 25-star diamond coach, okay? So that is insane.
Thank you.
You're the freaking Fit Farmer's wife. Come on. So my question, you said that you were talking, you started talking to 3 to 5 people a day, having conversations with them. So what kind of people and what kind of conversations?
Okay, so they were all from my like page. So I've been just going back and adding them as friends because I haven't figured out a good way to master reaching out from a like page yet. It just sounds really cheesy and cheap. And so I thought just adding them as a friend is like a special little gift that I can give them. And I don't add everyone. I kind of go through and I like pick out like which ones like look like they're actually farm wives. Some like look like they're gothic and like have their ears gauged and like nose rings and stuff. And like nobody against who has nose rings, like, but it's probably just not in my niche, So, so I started adding people that look like they're married or maybe moms or maybe newly married or engaged. And then with the farm, thing in it. So basically then I'll add them as a friend and then reach out to them somehow, like, how Rose talks or we've talked about before about like saying, hey girl, how's it going? Like, congrats on your wedding or whatever. And then I kind of blab about like how my husband and I will be married 3 years in July. And then I just thank them because that's kind of one of the key things is, compliment, and question are kind of the things that go together to make a conversation. And so typically most of them will be like, oh my gosh, like, a blogger has never reached out to me before. And like, they're just pumped that somebody just actually reached out to them. And then a lot of them will go off on their own tangent because I'll thank them for liking my page and thank them for supporting me and stuff. And then they'll typically say, yeah, I've been trying to lose this weight for, years, and kind of go off on some, and then that is then I usually ask them, have you ever considered being a part of a challenge group? And then that's usually a key question. And then they'll be like, no, what's a challenge group? And a lot of them don't even have any clue how it works. And I just had a girl, my first Success Club points this month was actually from a girl that I hadn't even added as a friend, but she's been following my page for a long time. And she went to, I have a shop now button that takes you directly to my Beachbody site. And she ordered a challenge pack all by herself. And I was like, holy crap, where did this girl come from? And so I added her as a friend and reached out to her, and she was just pumped. She was like, yeah, I ordered the 21-day fix. And I was like, good for you, thanks for the 2 Success Club points, And another thing that I've been doing is I actually have them right here, is every time somebody buys a challenge pack from me, and I sent these out to all my coaches, so any of my coaches that are listening later tonight, you'll be getting these in the mail, but it's just a thank you card. And then in the back, I just put a Bible verse because it's something I stand for, and then Alecia Zenker, the Fit Farmer's Wife. So I know it's kind of tiny, and it's just a nice little thank you and way to give back, I guess. And I just started doing that last month, so see how it goes. Did I answer your question?
That was perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm just gonna add, the post that I put on the team page today about the one call. I forget who did the call, but
Chelsea.
Oh, Chelsea Pearson did the national wake up call. And she said, people that or comment on your post, if you feel instead of saying, well, are you interested in my group, just thank them. And I did that today to one person, and she sent me 10 huge paragraphs. And I didn't even get a chance to read it yet. I'm like, wow, that actually goes a long way. I mean, who knows where it's going to lead, but I think it definitely opens up the conversation. So I'm going to be definitely sending out those types of messages now and going back to just see who liked and who commented. And I think with the page, doing ads is absolutely where it's at right now. Even if you spend, I think Alecia just does $1 or whatever. Even if you're not personally messaging those people or adding them as friends, you can, number one, reach those people, but reach beyond just those people that haven't liked your page yet.
And 2, with that, I said, I don't add everyone. So be picky about who you add. Just don't be looking for a sale either. Be picky and see, so if you're a mom and you're looking for moms, don't add somebody that's single and college age. You know what I mean? It's not worth it, so that's what I found when adding people too. I can kind of tell, because I want somebody to, I actually just listened to Chalene Johnson's podcast on the way home tonight, and I loved what she said because she first started out, as a personal trainer, and she charged $25 an hour. And she said she was kind of targeting the wrong people because at some points people would get a big credit card bill around the holidays or have doctor visits, and then they couldn't afford her anymore. And so she said, I needed to find some way and target those people that could afford me and saw value in what I have to offer. And so I feel those are the people that we need to be targeting. And yeah, it's wrong to judge people, but you kind of have to, just because of what your niche is and what you are offering.
I have something to say about personal development. So I was in my car driving home before, and I plugged my phone in, and I was using the Bluetooth. I wanted to listen to the music on my phone. I think my phone in my car had other plans because somehow it turned on my podcasts instead. So clearly it was telling me I needed to listen to some personal development while I was in the car. So that was pretty funny, I thought.
What'd you listen to?
I ended up listening to Shailene. I forget which one it was, but one of hers. So I love listening to her. She's so positive, and like I could listen to her all day long.
Definitely. Anyone else for tonight? Going once, going twice. Thank you so much, Alecia, for another amazing call. I know it's, you overcame your fear of public speaking. I think even getting on a call, just like Lisa and Andrea did, and Haley, like it's hard, even just to say like a couple words on a Zoom, it's like, like you get butterflies in your stomach. So props to you guys for facing that fear.
Just do it. Like, I know I made my coach last week, Katie, do it. And she was so happy that she did it. And she totally agreed with me. Like, after you do it, it's kind of like the post-workout high. So you definitely want to do it. Like, I am serious. I'm dead serious. Like, I am telling you guys to, like, get out there and do a call. Even if it's 5 minutes, like hers was super short. You don't be intimidated by like, long calls. It definitely takes time. My first call, I don't think was very long either. So it takes time to master, your skill and refine it, but definitely do it. Like message Rose, tell her that you want to do a podcast, or not a podcast, but a call, maybe a podcast too in the future. But definitely do it. It's awesome.
And everyone has something different to offer. So even though like we're all on the same team, like the way I explain something and the way Alecia explains something is completely different. And sometimes people will relate to Alecia more than they'll relate to me. And that's totally cool. I'm okay with that. And that's great. I did have one more announcement. Diana, sorry, who's on the call tonight, already hit Success Club 10 for the month. So I just wanted to, for second month as a coach. So 2 months straight hitting Success Club 10. And and that reminds me, I have to send you a message too. One more month and she'll get the free ticket to Summit. Whoop whoop. All right, everyone. Have a good night. And for those of you who are coming to Summit, we'll do this Zoom call this Sunday at 8. All right. Thanks.